What's happening, guys? This is Bharat Nagpal, and we're going to be reviewing the new Motorola Moto G. The Motorola Moto G is set to come to India on the 5th of February. Pricing is still unknown, but we expect it to come into the market for around the 15,000 price mark for the 16GB variant. Up until now, the Motorola Moto G has been the perfect balance of usability and performance mixed with the price bracket that it's going to be targeted at, along with the build quality and design that a smartphone can offer. All in all, what it seems like is going to be the best device for the Indian market. Let's go through its spaces and tell you what all we like and dislike about this product before we conclude on this review. Now, up until a couple of days ago, the Google-owned Motorola Mobility designed Moto G made perfect sense for India, but just yesterday, Lenovo acquired Motorola Mobility from Google, and now that aspect of it being a Google brand has sort of gone away from Motorola, and sort of the support that it would have required to come back into the Indian market is gone, and now it will be an operation run by Lenovo. So that sort of faith that Google has with Android devices, the fact that everyone assumed that because it's a Google product, Android updates would come out automatically and faster, and we did see Android KitKat get rolled out onto this device really soon. But the fact that Lenovo has it now will put some doubts into people's minds. However, let's not let that factor into the Motorola G and talk about how this device is and how it performs and what our review of this device is. So let's start off with build quality and design. Now, Motorola have basically taken off everything that they put into the Motorola X in terms of design, in terms of the use, in terms of the look and feel of the device, and they've basically sploshed it and stuffed it into a compactor, more sort of budget device. Now, the Motorola G or the Moto G is a subdued version of the Moto X and follows along the same design principles of the Moto X, which is one of their best-selling devices for 2013. The form factor of the Motorola G is perfect, and it is really well-rounded, so it fits into most hands perfectly without there being any sharp edges pinching into the sides of your hands. Now, unless you have ginormous hands, you'll be really comfortable holding on to the Moto G and using it on day-to-day basis. The back panel of the G comes in a bunch of colors, but when you buy the phone, it comes with a black back panel, which is a soft to touch rubberized sort of feel back panel. It again feels great in the hand, offers a lot of grip, and just like on the Motorola X, the Moto logo or the Motorola logo is a sort of depressed into the back panel, which offers a reassuring grip to the index finger when you're holding the device. It gives you sort of a mental image of the fact that you have a better grip on the device, whereas it just gives you a place to rest your index finger. Adds to the overall appeal of the device, adds to the overall grip and feel of using this smartphone from Motorola. Now, for the price, the value that the phone brings in terms of design, in terms of build quality, supersedes the cost of the product. Now, again, we don't know what the cost of the phone is, and if you compare it to the cost in the US, which is $200, roughly translates to about 12,500 rupees in the Indian market for the 16GB variant. For that price, the design, the build quality, and the overall look and feel of the product actually supersedes the cost, and it's again one of the best or possibly the best devices in terms of design, build quality, look and feel that you can get in this price bracket. Now, surprisingly enough, when companies make smartphones that are this low in price, it basically means that you're going to see a drop in terms of hardware, you're going to see a limitation in terms of display, but somehow Google and Motorola, when they were together, managed to get the Moto G out with a decent set of specifications. In fact, specs that you would mostly see on devices almost double the price of the Motorola G. So let's talk about hardware on the inside of the Moto G. Now, the Moto G has a 4.5-inch 1280 by 720p display, which offers a 329 pixel per inch pixel density. Fairly impressive in terms of the resolution and the pixel density. The LCD has great viewing angles, great overall brightness. It was difficult to see in direct sunlight a little bit, but it's still better than most of the devices that you see out there. Now on the inside, it comes with Android 4.3, but the minute you will open the device and connect to the internet, you'll get an upgrade notification. So you do get an update to Android 4.4 KitKat, more or less out of the box, because the update has been rolled out. So hopefully on the Indian versions of the Moto G, when it releases on 5th of February, it should have an update pending request as soon as you connect to the internet. For processors, we have the Snapdragon 400 at 1.2 GHz quad core. You do have an Adreno GPU in there, offers great performance, offers great gaming capability. So overall, good in terms of CPU usage, CPU performance, and the overall fact that you have a Snapdragon chipset in this price bracket, which has been usually sort of monopolized by MediaTek chipsets. Moving on, you get two capacities, an 8GB and a 16GB variant. You do get 50GB of storage on Google Drive for the next 2 years. So you have all your storage needs taken care of. Everything in terms of your storage capabilities is taken care of. 16GB would be my preferred choice, because 8GB seems a little too low if you're going to be playing games, if you're going to be getting some content on the go. You would want to keep 16GB as a failsafe. Now again, this all matters with respect to what the price difference is going to be. If it's a price difference of about 1500 to 2000 rupees between the 8GB and the 16GB variant, or about the same as $30-40 that is in the US, then you definitely should pick the 16GB variant, because you get more on the go content on your device. On the inside, you also have 1GB of RAM, which is more than enough for the Moto G to do what it needs to do. And as we tested it out, it was great. Now on the back, you have a 5-megapixel camera that does do slow motion video, which is one of the key selling factors for the Moto G. After the iPhone does slow motion video, the Moto G also does slow motion video. On the front is a 1.3 megapixel camera, fairly basic. Both these cameras are fairly basic in terms of performance, and they do offer 720p video, capture capabilities at 30 frames per second, and we'll talk more about the camera when we get to that section. The device weighs in at 143 grams, which is fairly heavy, but again, it's fairly light if you compare it to most of the devices available in that price bracket. For connectivity, you do get Bluetooth 4.0, and you do get 802.11 BG and N in terms of Wi-Fi, which is again impressive because of the fact that you get the N Wi-Fi. Of course, you don't get AC, but you get N, which is good enough, more than what most people have in their houses. So you should be good to go. Now the device only has 3G and should not be a constraint for the Indian market, because we rarely have 4G right now, and we won't have it properly rolled out by the end of the year. So I don't think that should be an issue. It was an issue for the US market. A lot of people thought that LTE was important, and they do have a broader, more spread out LTE availability over the country. So for the Indian market, as far as 3G is concerned, you're good to go. Now let's talk about performance. Now we did benchmarks on the device, and benchmarks actually show us a glimpse of what the performance on this device is going to be like. Above average scores on benchmarks, and you can check out our benchmarks video. It'll give you a greater idea of how each and individual test gave results. However, we're pretty happy with what the Motorola G or the Moto G was able to score in terms of benchmarks, and it is fairly impressive what Motorola have managed to do with this device. At least in terms of numbers. Now, it's almost like a subtle phone on the outside, but it's like a tweaked up car on the inside. The Moto G works really well. It performs really well on day-to-day usage. The UI is really smooth. You can swipe through pages, have multiple applications running, and somehow it manages to keep up with your usability of the product, which makes it an impressive device in this price bracket. It runs mostly stock Android, no customizations whatsoever. So that also adds to what the Android experience needs to be on this device. Most of the applications will download in terms of compatibility with this device. You don't have any issues. Most of the apps that we used, we didn't have any issue in terms of compatibility or the fact that the app was not available for being downloaded. Everything works. It works great. It's smooth. It jumps through applications, and overall manages RAM very well, and keeps you running. So that is a great feature of the Moto G. Now adding to this, the Android KitKat experience also adds a lot of performance capability to the Moto G. You do get faster, more a responsive experience from the UI. KitKat was designed to run on lower end phones, and although the Moto G has been considered a lower end device, it is actually a device which has mid-range specs. So the fact that Android KitKat of 4.4 were designed for a lower end of the spectrum, it works really well on the Moto G. Again, with gaming, we saw that the Moto G was able to perform really, really well. Most games ran perfectly, and we did not see any issue with the device in terms of gaming. It really manages to keep up with whatever you throw at it, which makes it really, really impressive. The camera on the back of the Moto G is a 5 megapixel camera that does do 4:3 aspect ratio images, but if you want 16:9, you can have those as well at 3.8 megapixels if I'm not wrong. 5 megapixel offers great images for uploads to Facebook, social networking sites. Most of the usages that you have for a camera on a smartphone, it suffices. In fact, the camera is pretty decent for the price that it comes at. You get great overall composition of images. They are not too shabby in terms of color being all over the place, in terms of them being oversaturated, in terms of them being overexposed. So you get a great camera on the device. In fact, it's one of the best rounded off 5 megapixel cameras that we've seen on a smartphone. It does not offer you capabilities like you would see on an ultra pixel camera from the HTC One, for example, but it somehow does match up to what you would see on the iPhone 4, where it had a 5 megapixel camera, managed to do really well. So it's almost along those lines. In terms of video, you also get 720p from the front as well as the back camera. The front camera, 1.3 megapixel, good for selfies, good for sort of making those video calls. But more than that, I don't think you'll be using the front camera too much, and it is overly pixelated. The overall result is really shabby from the front camera. The rear camera, however, does a great job with video as well. You get 720p video. Slow motion is also pretty good, and we'll have a sample of that on this video, hopefully, so you can check that out. In terms of battery life performance, we were pretty happy as well. We got about a day's use from the Moto G with multitasking, with playing lots of games, with a bit of internet usage, and about 5 hours of music playback. So overall, in terms of battery life, we're pretty impressed with what is a small or a tiny battery inside a small compact device, which is fairly powerful. Now, in conclusion, the Motorola Moto G makes perfect sense for the Indian market. It offers great price, it offers great build quality design, it offers great battery life, and it offers, most of all, the best performance and instant updates to Android versions. So your future versions of Android should also continue to get updated. One big flaw or one big loss that is going to be seen affecting, or I feel should affect the sales for this product, is the fact that suddenly, a couple of days before launch, Motorola has been acquired by Lenovo, which might impact the mind of the user or the consumer in India, because the fact that Google owned this company was a great push, but now Lenovo owns this company, and it might just sort of hinder, it might just set a doubt in the user's mind, and we need to see if that is actually the case. But as far as we are concerned, the Motorola Moto G is one of the best products that you can get in the market. It works well, it is a well-rounded device, it fits into your pocket really well, and it feels really good in the hand. And in terms of performance, we feel that it is no less than any device that is in the price bracket of 25,000 rupees. Great display overall, great performance, and a great overall product from Motorola. They've managed to pull it off, and now we just have to see what the price is going to be. And hopefully, if it is under 15,000 or 15,000 for the 16 gigabyte variant, it'll definitely be our pick or our most favorite phone in that price bracket, or basically our most favorite phone if you want to get an Android device and to start off with. So the Motorola Moto G, ladies and gentlemen. Read our full review on iGyan.in, get some image samples there as well. We'll put a camera video which will let you see what the camera is like, what the video capability is like, so you can see that as well. We'll have a little more information on our website, so do check that out, iGyan.in. You can also catch us on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, and make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/iGyan. and iGyan TV for a more personal approach. And until I see you next time, guys, this has been Bharat Nagpal. Thank you guys for watching.